Hi guys, and welcome to another Watch Geek video. Today we're doing the full tutorial for the module 5689 that's in this GA-B2100. So this is the popular 2100 series but done with the Bluetooth connectivity. And I did the review of this piece and I'll probably put the link somewhere here in the corner of the screen. Now, just like with all my other tutorial videos, I have time codes in the description so you can jump to specific parts of the video or functions of the watch. However, I would advise you to watch the video the first time, the whole video, just so you get acquainted with all the functions that this watch has. Now, being Bluetooth equipped, I'm going to show you just quickly how to connect to the app, which app it is, how to delete the pairing data and do an all reset, because if you buy this watch and somewhere along the transportation or the way when it was displayed in a store, if someone played around with it and connected it to their phone, it's not gonna want to connect to your one. So when you receive the watch, if you have problems connecting to your phone, just do an all reset and you're good to go. So the first thing to show you is the app, because Casio keeps changing these apps, and this is now the current one. Let me just get to it. This one. They used to have that Casio Watch Plus, but now that's just for Edifice and that Shine model, wherever. They used to have the G-Shock connected, which is still available, but it's not supporting this watch. This one is. So Casio watches. So once you get into that app, you will have to select your region, which for some reason is not alphabetical, so it's kind of a chore, and then you have to sign in with your Casio ID. Luckily, you don't have to create a Casio ID because you can sign in with Facebook or Google like I did. Once you do that, then you can get to here to My Watch and add a watch. And the app is going to ask you for the module number. So the 4 numbers which are in a square. And if you look at the back, this one has the 5689. Let me just get the camera to focus. It's this right here. So we'll just enter 5689. 5689. Click next. And now it's going to ask you which one it is. It's a GA-B2100, and it even asks for a variant. In our case, it's this one, the green one. So we'll just select the green one. Date of purchase, you can enter all this if you want. You don't have to, and you press register. The watch is going to get registered to the app. And now it tells you how to turn on, how to pair the watch with the phone, and this is how you're going to do it every time with the app running. So the app is running, we'll put it right here, and you just press the mode button and hold it until it beeps. It's writes connect and then beeps. So press and hold. Now release. When you hear that beep, now you release. It's trying to connect. Once it connects, it's going to pull up the location data and also the correct time, and you're going to see that the hands are going to move to the correct time, which is 12:33. So let's wait. And there we go. Once the watch is connected, now it's going to keep doing this up to 4 times a day, so that way the watch is always going to be accurate. Now, using the app, you can change different settings of the watch, including the alarms, the countdown timer, everything. You just select the watch, and here you have all of these thingies that you can do, and including manual hand adjustment. So that's pretty much it. Once you want to delete, or once you change your phone, you're going to have to delete the pairing data, but I'll show you that in a second. So let's move this away, lock the phone. So now the watch is connected. It's going to disconnect in a couple of minutes, or you can disconnect it by pressing any of the buttons. Once you disconnect, you can cycle through the modes with the mode button. And you'll know that you're in the home time when you hear that higher pitched beep, and the subdial hands actually shows one of the 3 levels of battery, L, M, or H. This being solar, you want to keep it between M and H. You never want to drain it all the way. So if you're not wearing the watch, please store it in your living room or somewhere where it has enough light. Do not store it in its box, in a desk, or somewhere, because constantly charging and recharging the battery all the way is gonna ruin it. If you keep it well charged, it can last you 20 or 30 years. My oldest solar watch, I believe, is 25 years or something like that. I never had issues with it. Okay, so another thing that you can do is record the location of where you are, and it's also used to manually sync the time. So while you're in the timekeeping mode, you simply press this lower button. The watch is going to connect to the phone, get the correct time, and record your latitude and longitude on the phone so you can later check it out. So if you want to record the time when you were at a certain location, just press this. That's pretty much it. You can also use it as a phone finder by pressing and holding the same button. The watch is again gonna connect to the phone, and as you can see, find is flashing. There, it found my phone. Pressing any of the buttons is gonna turn it off. That's it when it comes to these ways of connecting to your phone. And this is used when you want to use the app. Like I said, press and hold. There, now it's going to be connected so you can mess with the settings. So that's pretty much it. All three of these things. Now, like I said, if you have trouble connecting to your phone or pairing to your phone, you can do either a clear pairing or all reset. Both are done pretty much the same with a slight difference. So you have to be in the home screen. You press and hold the adjust button. Once you're in the adjustment mode, this is now how you manually also adjust the watch. You can change the location and everything. This is the location that it pulled from the phone. You press the mode button to get to the seconds. There. Now when the seconds are flashing, you press and hold the light button for about 3 seconds until it starts. It's going to say clear pairing, clear pairing. Once it beeps, it cleared the pairing data. There. Now it cleared the pairing data. If that doesn't work, you can do an all reset by, again, while the seconds are flashing, press and hold this for 7 seconds until it says all reset. So press and hold. Still hold. There. Now you did an all reset, and now you should have no trouble connecting to another phone. Okay, let's exit the adjusting screen. That's pretty much it. Now the app is used for setting up the alarms and everything, but you can also do all those things on the watch. So my advice is to use the app just so you get the correct time for the watch and just learn how to use the watch without the app. To me, it's simpler. Another thing that the app gives you and that the watch doesn't is the REM function. If you know vintage G-Shocks, you remember those early 5000s and 5600s had that little REM thing where you activate it and it's supposed to remind you of something. Well, now in the app you can set, I believe, up to 5 or 10 reminders, and once the date of the reminder comes, you're gonna have a little REM like flashing here, which is a pretty cool thing. So, with the app covered and the connection and disconnection covered, let's jump back to the old school of operating a G-Shock. So we're in the home screen. Pressing the mode button is going to cycle you through different modes, including a world time, stopwatch, countdown timer, alarm, and back to home screen. If you're in any of these modes, press and hold the mode button and it's going to jump back to the home screen like so. To adjust the watch while in the home screen, if you're not using the app and if it didn't adjust itself automatically, you press and hold the adjust button. Once it beeps, it asks you for your location, and now you can go due east or due west, whichever you want. Let's leave it at Paris. Press the mode button again. The watch is going to ask you for the DST settings. So this is the daylight savings time or the summertime. Turn it on, turn it automatically so that it picks up the data from the phone, or turn it off in case your location doesn't use DST at all. Press it again. This is now the seconds. Like I said, here you can clear the pairing data, do an all reset, but if you press the lower button, the watch is gonna reset the seconds to 0 and gonna move the minutes by 1 up if you reset between 30 and 59, like so, or it's gonna reset them and not touch the minutes if it's between 0 and 29, like so. Moving on, press the mode button again. The watch is gonna ask you for the hours. Now you can go up, you can go down, and you can also speed scroll if you hold this button, like so. Press the mode button again. The watch is gonna ask you for the minutes. Again, up, down, and again you can speed scroll by pressing and holding. Press the mode button again. The watch is going to ask you for the year. Again, you can go up and down with these buttons. Press the mode button again. This is the month, then followed by the date. Again, up and down. Now it's going to ask you if you want a 12 or 24 hour display, so AM, PM, or 24. I always prefer 24, so you cycle it with the lower button. Press the mode button again, and this is one of the very few models of G-Shocks where you can change the date format. Month followed by date, or like we use it in Europe, date followed by month. Again, you cycle it with the lower right button. Okay, go back. Press the mode button again. The watch is going to ask you for the language of the day. So here you can go English, Spanish, French, German, Italian, Russian, and back to English. Press the mode button again. This is whether you want the watch to make beeps when you operate the buttons or if you want to turn on the mute function. Let's put it back to ketone. Press the button again, and it's going to ask you about the light duration. Because this, if it's at 1, the light is going to be activated for 1.5 seconds when you press the light button. Or if you go to 3, it's going to be 3 seconds. Let's move on. Now this is an airplane mode because RCVD is off, or you can turn it on, but since we deleted pairing data, currently it's completely off. Once you pair your watch with the phone and you're in a medical facility or on the airplane and you're not supposed to have anything that emits radio waves, you would go into this and put it to off instead of RCVD. You cycle with this button. Like I said, this watch is not going to let us cycle because we just deleted the pairing data. Press the mode button again. This is the power saving function. If you turn it on in the dark when you're not using the watch, it's going to turn off the screen, which I don't think it's going to save that much battery. Press the mode button again. It jumps back to the selection of the home city. Once you set up everything the way you want it, you simply press the adjust button. The watch is going to exit the settings screen and the hands are going to move to the correct position. Now, if you want to use the screen or something and the hands are in your way but you're not in the settings screen, you can also move them away manually by pressing the light followed by mode, like so. You're going to have this H and D symbol here flashing, meaning the hands are not showing you the time but are actually moved. To cancel it, again, this, and it's going to bring them back. So that's it when it comes to the setting up of the watch. Now, pressing the adjust button while you're in the home screen and you're not in the adjusting screen, so just press it, not press and hold, it's gonna display different data. So here, as you can see, we displayed the date followed by month because we just changed it, and here we have the seconds. Pressing this, it's gonna switch to showing us the day of the week and seconds. And pressing it again, it's gonna show us the time, so hours, minutes, and seconds. Also, if you have a reminder set up on the phone, here you can see which reminder it is. So it's gonna show you the REM and then the name of the reminder that you set up in the app. Pressing it again goes back to the date. Light will activate the light, as you would expect. This would usually, if you're paired, like I said, pressing it once, it's going to record your location and get this correct time and data from the phone. If you press and hold, you're going to activate the phone finder. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the home screen. So let's move on. The next function is the world time function. In the world time function on the watch, you can cycle through, I believe, 48 cities and 31 time zones by using this lower button. Sadly, you can only go due east. If you press this, it doesn't go back, it activates the light. Let me just try if it has a UTC shortcut. No, it doesn't. Some G-Shocks that can go only one way, when you press both of these buttons, jump back to UTC. This one doesn't. Now, once you select one of the time zones, you can change the DST or summertime for each time zone individually. So let's say this is now what are we gonna select? Okay, Bangkok. So currently it's gonna tell you that this is Bangkok. It's gonna show you the time in Bangkok. And if you press this, so let's say you jump into the world time, you can't remember which world time you're viewing, you just press the adjust button. It's gonna write BKK and Bangkok. This is the airport code for Bangkok. Now you can turn on the summertime in Bangkok in case they're observing it by pressing and holding the adjust button. And there, it's gonna ask you whether you want it to do it automatically, just like the main time. if you want to turn it off or turn it on. We'll just leave it at auto because then it's going to pick up the time from the phone. Press, and that's it. Another thing that the watch has, and you can do this individually for each time zone. Another thing that this watch can do is time swap. So let's say we're flying from Paris to Bangkok. Once we land there, we still want to know the time in Paris, but we don't want to watch the Bangkok time here. We want the Bangkok time to be our main time because the alarms are connected to the main time. Once you land in Bangkok in the world time function, press the light and adjust at the same time. And there, now the watch just switched. So now Paris time is going to be displayed on this little screen, while the hands are going to show you the Bangkok time, and all the alarms set up are going to ring according to Bangkok time because now that is our main time. Once you fly back to Paris, again press these two buttons simultaneously. It's going to switch them back. So now Bangkok is back on the screen while the main time is again Paris. And as you can see, this subdial hand actually shows you the world time, which function you're in. Once you're in the home time, it shows you the level of battery. Now again, the app gives you an option of over 300 cities that you can record into the 48 that are available on the watch. So that gives you slightly more freedom, but even here, all the time zones are covered. Okay, moving on. The next function is a stopwatch, and it's a pretty straightforward 24-hour stopwatch with split times and lap times. So once in the stopwatch mode, you can start it, you can stop it, you can reset it by pressing the adjust button. You can also do the split times, so you start the stopwatch and pressing the adjust button is going to freeze the screen, but the stopwatch keeps running in the background. Once you've written the time, you unfreeze the screen by pressing this, and it does 2 splits and then 3 splits, so you can split it no matter how many times you want, but the stopwatch keeps doing it in the background. Once you stop it, the last split is going to show you that, and then you reset it. You can also do it as laps. So while the stopwatch is not running, press the adjust button. And now it's a lap stopwatch, meaning that whenever, so you start the stopwatch, now whenever you press this button, it's not going to freeze the screen. It's going to freeze the screen, but also restart the stopwatch. Back then, when we were having split times, the stopwatch would continue moving. So we'd have increase in time here. So let's say we press it, lap number 1, press it again. As you can see, the lap number 2 was 4.9 seconds. Lap number 3 is going to be 5 something seconds. And again, once you're done with the laps, you press the start button, and this is the last lap. And again, you reset it. So pretty straightforward. Like I said, to toggle between a lap and a split stopwatch, simply press the adjust button while the stopwatch is not running and while it's been reset to 0. The stopwatch is going to measure 1/100th of a thousand second for the first hour, and then these are going to turn into seconds, these are going to turn into minutes, and these into hours because it's a 24-hour stopwatch. Moving on. The next mode is the countdown timer. I believe it's a 24-hour countdown timer, so to adjust it to any time you want, you press and hold the adjust button. Once the watch enters the settings screen, you can change the hours, forward and backwards. The minutes, like so. 59. And whichever time you choose, it's going to be the start time. Once you start it, the watch is going to, so it's a 60-minute timer, settable down to the second. So this is now at 60 minutes. Once it reaches 0, it's going to beep. You can also stop it, you can reset it, and that's pretty much it. Moving on. Next one is the alarm. Again, something that you can set up on the phone, but even here, so you have alarm 1, alarm 2, alarm 3, alarm 4, alarm 5, and the hourly chime. So as you can see, each alarm of these is set up to midnight. To turn on or off the alarm, once you select one, so let's say alarm 1, you press the adjust, it's going to be turned on. And now you're going to have this ALM symbol right here to know you that one of the alarms is turned on. Regardless if it's one or all 5, this is going to stay the same. To turn it off, you again press the adjust button and that alarm is turned off. Naturally, you can also set them up to any time you want. So let's say select alarm 2. We want to set it up for, 4 a.m. or 4 4:10, you press and hold the adjust button. It enters the adjusting screen and automatically turns on the alarm. Now using these two buttons, just like when you were setting up the main time, you can go up, you can go down. So let's go to 4. Press the mode button. Now the watch is going to ask you for the minutes. Again, you can go up, you can go down, and you can speed scroll. So let's say 4:10 a.m. To exit the adjusting screen, you press the adjust button. And now this watch is going to sound the alarm at 4:10 a.m. To turn it off, once it sounds, pressing any of the buttons is going to shut down, but it's going to repeat itself tomorrow. So if you want to permanently turn it off, you simply go to the alarm 2, press the adjust button, and now it's turned off, although it stays in the memory that was at 4:10. And also the hourly chime, where the watch beeps every full hour, you just go to the SIG, press the adjust button, and now the SIG or the hourly chime is turned on, as you can see by this little indicator. And that's pretty much it. So to turn it off, press it again, so you toggle it with this. And that's pretty much it. So another thing I want to show you that's usually very important on regular battery operated analog digital G-Shocks, not so important on this one because this one is solar, so the chances of you changing the battery are pretty much none, is the hand alignment. This is something that's done over the app pretty easily, but you can also do it manually without the app. To do so, you have to be in the home screen and you press and hold the adjust button, but you hold it beyond the first beep until you have the H set written here. So press and hold. Still hold. Now release it. And the first hand that's going to be set up is the subdial hand. It has to show exactly at 3 o'clock. So if it's moved anywhere else, you have to correct it by using these two buttons, because you can go slightly down, you can go slightly up. You want it pointing straight to the 3 o'clock. Once you've set up the subdial hand, you press the mode button and it's going to ask you for the main hands. Now the hour and minute hand are connected and they have to show at midnight, exactly 000. If they show anywhere else, again, you can correct them by moving them left or right, and like I said, they're connected. So if the hour hand is misaligned, you're gonna have to keep cycling the minute hand until you get the hour hand in the right position. Luckily, you can also do the speed scrolling, so you press and hold and they're going to start moving until you stop them. So if you want to get the hour hand back to midnight, this is going to have to do 2 revolutions. So you go the other way, and again, once it gets to exactly 12 o'clock or midnight, you stop it. You align it the way you want, like so, and that's it. You just align the hands. So if you notice that your watch is not showing, like if the digital time tells one thing and the hands show something completely different, or if your watch is in a, let's say, a home screen mode but it shows world time or stopwatch, that means the hands got misaligned, and you do this procedure to align them. Once you've completed all the alignments, so these two point here, this one points here, you press the adjust button, the watch is going to exit the hand alignment and it's going to show you the current time. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the hand alignment. Like I said, because this is a solar one, you'll probably never have to touch it, but just so you know it in case something goes wrong. So that covers the whole tutorial for this GA-B2100 and the 5689 module inside. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.